Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by BlackRifleCoffee.com. Put down the water and grab a fucking drink.
Oh, shit. I think I'm in New Orleans today. Nolens, I believe they call it. Look at this. We got a nice little spread out. We got tickets to all here today. We got Benny and Greg. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Love New Orleans. Love being here.
This is one of the greatest cities of all time, isn't it?
I never have a problem coming to New Orleans. Great food, great times, never an issue.
This is one of those cities when you get off the plane, it feels like Vegas, where there should be a drink or like a shot girl just feeding you drinks. You feel like you can just automatically get fucked up and walk the streets. That's the way I feel.
As soon as you get off the plane, it's already got that energy.
As soon as you get off the plane,
yeah. You're ready to go.
You feel like your shirt cling to you a little bit, and you're like, oh my God, where's that tequila? Where is that piss-warm tequila coming from? I need it.
You can take drinks everywhere you go, one bar from another. You don't have to
no,
worry about.
You don't do anything.
Yep,
you can drink in the street. You can piss in the streets. You can do whatever. I'm sure somebody got murdered out here tonight.
Anything flies. Anything flies. We were walking here and we saw a van that actually was selling like little edibles out of the window of the van. Just a lady sitting in her front seat. Yeah,
right outside.
And to do like a double take.
Did you give her my number?
Yeah, I did.
Are you holding right now?
I would have stopped, but would have been late.
Can I say it on the air?
Well, if you're holding, you're holding. That's fine. Just hit me up afterwards.
Yeah, we'll talk. I got you.
Welcome, gentlemen.
For sure.
I've always been fascinated by the ticket industry, by the people itself. We met in a fucking gas station in Dallas, Texas.
In Arlington, right across the street from Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah. Jerry World. It was the Ohio State TCU game, and then Cowboys were playing the Giants the next night.
Home opener, yep.
Yeah. So Dan and I were doing the show, and we got to chatting with you, and I was like, hey, man, I'm from Los Angeles. We have this show. I've always been fascinated by this world because me in particular, to get financing for all these movies and all this shit, I've had to give tickets to people for about 20 years. And I feel like across the board, I've given tickets for the biggest events to people and just been like, hey, and I've always dealt with the people and they've always got crazy stories. And I was like, I'd love to have you on the show and see what that world is like. When did you get into it?
I've been doing this since '94. I'm just
damn. You're an OG.
I was going to college and
what college did you go to?
I went to TJC, Tyler Junior College, in Tyler, Texas.
Tyler, Texas. Yeah.
Tyler, Texas.
What's their mascot?
Don't now you're asking me. I went there for half a semester.
When you throw out a TJC, you don't know their mascot.
I went there for half a semester and came back and did community colleges around Dallas and then I found tickets on the side, just something that I did after work.
Yeah, was it to pay for college?
Making $20-$40 at a time, which was beer money when you're 18 years old.
Sure.
And I just learned to start saving my money and investing it, and now I own my own company and doing well for myself, I believe.
So back in that day, though, that was the Ticketmaster stand in line.
Absolutely.
Wait outside the night before, like, yo, Prince is coming. Camp out, like, at 9 a.m.
Hiring people to stay in line.
That's what it was, right?
And me sleeping outside just to get tickets. And all I was doing was flipping them to other brokers.
Sure.
At the time and just taking that money and screwing it off.
That was a better time, wasn't it?
I had some good times.
Before my time.
Yeah, it's before your time. Greg, you just turned 18 about an hour ago, which is the drinking age here in New Orleans.
Exactly. He's good to go.
Yeah, you're fine tonight.
Yeah. Oh, we're good. And I got those
single too?
And I got the edibles too. And single.
Oh boy. How hard is Greg going to go tonight?
This
Two girls, three girls.
This is our party weekend. He can do whatever he wants.
We got
a suite, so he can have fun.
You guys have a suite at the Saints game, Saints-Rams game?
No, we're sitting in the club right behind you guys.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Right with you guys. Yeah,
Greg, sure. I want to hear a standing up reverse 69. Some story tonight that was like a New Orleans story. It was like, holy shit, I woke up wearing a clown suit and there's blood all over me. I'm not even sure if it's my blood.
I'm sure I can come up with something good for you. Here's the thing. I never let people down, so unfortunately, good or bad, might get a little crazy, but it's New Orleans. Like you said, I've been itching since we got off the plane. So
you better not let me down.
I don't want to disappoint.
Tonight.
I don't want to disappoint.
Tonight. So back in '94, did you ever say to yourself when you're getting tickets, like, dude, I'm going to be up against the robots one day?
Oh, man, no idea.
No idea, right?
Seriously. No, I didn't even have a cell phone back then. I'm still trying to figure out how I communicated to other people. So, Yeah, man, how things have changed. But luckily, I was able to adapt, and I saw where the future was going, and eventually got off the street and got a computer program that our point of sale system that allows us to sell tickets online. And when I met you at a gas station, right, which is modern times, but there still is a group of people that walk up that need tickets last minute.
Absolutely.
And the amount of customers that I do get from that gas station, I am the closest spot for Cowboy Stadium, and we know how Cowboys is a big draw. And I met you there, for example, and it's just I get a ton of clients after the game, and people call us and buy a lot of tickets. It's not really necessarily what I make that day; it's the business that I get afterwards.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I know that world so well. That's why I stopped by and chatted, because I was like, man, I guarantee you these guys have the hookups for all kinds of shit later on. Because again, in LA, that's all we used to do was flip tickets. A little harder in LA because Lakers were always good. Like Kobe, it was the Kobe Shaq era for me. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Kobe played 90 years, but like anybody always wanted to see Kobe. So if you got Lakers tickets, cool. I could not give Kings tickets away.
Right.
I mean, to save my life, because they didn't start winning until the last couple of years.
Even the Clippers are difficult to get rid of as well.
Clippers were terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And I mean, shit, I dated a Clipper girl for a year, so I had the best seats on the planet because I would sit with the families. But it was weird because I got to know the families and all that other shit, and which I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
In this world, and but the Clippers games, like, dude, it felt like it was just us and the family. I mean, there was nobody there.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
It's a lot about connections and who you know these days, and you sit in the friends and family sections, and you get to know the players' wives and all that,
and their girlfriends and their babies, and they got a lot of kids.
Other things you can't talk about.
Athletes got a lot of kids, a lot of guys. I remember Earl Boykins. You remember him, the point guard for the Clippers, the little guy. He was like 5'3".
Yep.
Like the smallest guy in the NBA. The dude had like 7 kids. So like all of his different, like the
6
moms
different women. And
and they were all there in the family section.
Easy back in the day. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what it was. So I mean, looking at it now, again, all the way from '94 to here, I think my biggest question is this: when tickets go out through like a Ticketmaster or a normal broker, I think fans online think they have a shot to get like Bruce Springsteen on Broadway tickets. My theory is this, that 40% of that, at least, is taken by the Ticketmaster now. Like, you can't, as a real fan, you can't get those tickets, right?
You can get them if you're good enough on the computer. I mean, that's how we get tickets as well. When we want tickets for an event that goes on sale, we're on the computer doing it just like anybody else would. We don't have a computer bot, which are frowned upon. We do not do that. It's just all about...
Other people do it, right?
There's other brokers around the country, and Ticketmaster's trying to do what they can to stop that, but you can only try.
Yeah.
You just got to be good. If a concert goes on sale at 10 o'clock, you better be on there at 10 o'clock and start hitting this button and start trying to buy.
Man, because I've been on there at 10 o'clock to try to get big shit for either myself or other people. I mean, look, we've all got that story of wanting to take a girlfriend to see Lady Gaga, get her front row tickets, and you're like, oh man, I'm going to wake up an hour early and really get up the keyboard, and back in, boom, 10:01, you pop in your shit, and you're in row 90, and 533 in the top of Staples Center. You're just like, God damn it, man.
It's more to it than that. You can't just give up. Sometimes 30 minutes later into the on sale or whatever, there's something that is potentially released. Ticketmaster does scalp their own tickets, and I'm just using Ticketmaster as an example.
They do, right?
There's so many other
the devil.
There's so many other primary markets out there besides Ticketmaster, but they all do it. Even the sports teams and the concert venues are scalping their own venues, which are really weeding us out.
Really?
That's where the times are going, but you just got to
because of the aftermarket of how much money they're making.
They have all this data that for years and years and years, and they're seeing why do we need to sell something for $50 when for 10 years straight it sells for $75 to $100. They add all that
essentially
up.
Over time, they've watched brokers like us in the secondary market, how we've priced, things like that nature. We read the market very well, better than the primaries do.
Sure.
And what happens is that they kind of over time have watched that, taken that data, and then now they basically try to create their own second market.
Ticketmaster has a secondary market called Tickets Now. Tickets Now, and that's where they've been getting all this data from.
Man.
And so on and so on. And there's brokers that use Tickets Now as their point of sale. And they're really not being a dirtbag on as much as I really dislike Ticketmaster. There's nothing shady on that because everybody has a point-of-sale system where they sell their tickets off of.
Right.
I enter my seats, I sell it off of Vivid. All Tickets now is doing what StubHub, Vivids, and all these other companies are doing.
Creating their own,
they are our
resale
avenue
market.
that we sell as well.
Let me ask you, why Vivid? Why is that the go-to over a StubHub or something else?
It's all about, there is no difference when it comes to quality of what you're getting. No matter where you buy online, everybody has a 200% money back guarantee. Your seats are guaranteed. If something does happen, they're going to replace them. So it really doesn't matter where you buy. The deals are going to be the same where you buy also. People may see a ticket cheaper on Vivid because Vivid does something where they do price down. I'll list it for 100.
Sure.
They list it for 90, but yet they're going to charge you a 30% fee.
Yep.
I list it for
They're making
100.
their money, trust me.
StubHub lists it for 100, but they only charge you a 20% fee. So, but at the end of the day, you're paying about the same price.
Gotcha.
People do all this shopping around; it's all the same.
Yeah.
Or call us directly, no service fees. At any point, which is that's what we are. We're a concierge.
Sure.
But say if we own the seats, you're going to get a hell of a deal. If we don't own it, we're going to go out and get it for you, and we're going to pull all these secondary markets away because I buy them from a wholesale site.
Okay.
And if it costs 100, I'm going to charge you 110, where you're going to pay, say, 120 on StubHubs, Vivids, and everything in between.
Okay.
That's just a little example of kind of how we operate.
And do you guys work a lot with the athletes and their families, like directly?
Yeah. We have athletes that buy tickets from us. I mean, we have a lot of high-end clients and stuff that use us as their concierge. If you will.
Really?
Yep.
I'm sure you can't out names, but I think it would surprise the audience that NFL players, NBA players have to go out and buy tickets for their own games. What are they allotted per game?
Well, you want me to get this? Let's use football for example, since we're here on a football trip.
Yeah.
The players get tickets. They got to turn in their tickets, I believe, on Tuesday, and they buy them from the team. The team holds back tickets for players for friends and family. That's how they get tickets. But every once in a while, a game might blow up in the sense that there are no tickets, and a player will have to go out and get some seats, especially if you're the traveling team. So if the Rams are here,
gonna ask that,
if the Rams are here, they're out of tickets. They if they need some, and I'm just kind of speculating this, they need tickets. They're going to have to go buy them themselves.
Sure.
Find a way to get them in.
Yeah, because I had a Ryan Jensen who plays for the Tampa Bay Bucks on the show. And I said, hey, man, you're coming in to the Falcons game or whatever. And he goes, I'll get you tickets. And I was like, but are they good? And he goes, actually, no, they're shitty. And I was like,
it depends. The best you're ever going to get is going to be a lower corner, but a lot of times we're upper corner, upper end zone.
That's where he said his were.
Across the board, every city.
A lot of people think because they're the player, they're automatically going to get the best seats. They're going to get like the 30, 40, 50 yard line seats. They're given there's holds on the seats, and they're given those seats, like Benny was saying, is that most of the time they're not as nearly as good as that their families or friends would ever even really want to sit in to begin with. And then on top of that,
I turned the tickets down.
And on top of that, they're still
watch.
Making them pay for it. It's not like because they're a player, they're getting them. They still have to pay that value for it. So it's not like this. They're just giving the best of the best. So they'll reach out to us. And like I said, with our relationships we have, especially with Benny, the connections he made, it's just they'll call us and trust us and say, hey, what can you get me because I'm not able to get it myself.
Sure.
And that's when we kind of come into play.
And see, that's a misconception that, like, people who know, let's say somebody knows a football player, they think the player gets it for free. When they don't, they have to pay for them themselves.
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought the same thing.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because, when a player gives them a ticket, they don't realize that they really just came out $350 for them, and the fan or friend or whatever takes that for granted. Same way with us. If I have a friend that wants to go to a concert or whatever it is, hey Benny, usually the first thing is, what can you hook me up with? Those are like, that's a sentence I dread. I was like, I got to pay for this. Would you like me to just give you $200?
There's a cost. There's a cost to everything.
To everything. Yeah. It's never free. Free is never free.
No, free's never free. The perception's there, but I promise you, it's not the case.
Yeah. I think that's with everything in life. What's the most difficult events to get tickets for in the world? Is it probably the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl. I do travel the world, and I get to see all these great. Like,
World
I just
Cup?
got back
Did
from
you
the
go to
World
World Cup
Cup.
at all?
Yeah, I went to the World Cup. The World Cup Finals is big, and the World Cup works just like the Super Bowl. It all matters the teams that are in it.
Gotcha.
You have the higher profile teams in it, the harder the ticket's going to be.
Sure.
You got a small market team, then the price is going to be a little bit cheaper. So, the way I look at it, I always want a Cowboys Pittsburgh or a New England, a Green Bay, those kind of teams that have a well-traveled fan base.
Big markets, good traveling fan base.
We make a little bit more money, and that's what makes a ticket difficult to get at times.
Well, speaking of that, we're on a collision course as of now, halfway through the season. And if you listen to the show, you know I love to make way too early predictions on shit. Rams-Chiefs. On paper, that does not seem like a sexy matchup.
Terrible.
For tickets,
as much as I love the Rams,
ratings.
and I have friends that play for the Rams, and I do not want the Rams in it in any kind of way. I mean, it's
because their fan base sucks in LA.
There's a reason why LA has lost NFL teams time and time again. Now they have 2, and this team's only been there 2 years. St. Louis obviously didn't have enough fans that could support them in St. Louis.
No.
I mean, it's just. I like watching them on TV,
same.
I'm not going to make a lot of money off of them.
Because those are the 2 funnest teams to watch, in my opinion. Offenses are high octane, it's fucking great.
High offense, they're prolific to watch. I think that, you have the young quarterback in Mahomes and things like that. But as fun as it is to watch on TV and the highlights and all the hype on the radio shows and this and that, it doesn't mean it's going to translate to a good selling Super Bowl ticket.
Right.
Which is, you'd think the opposite. But there's other factors involved that, someone that maybe isn't in the business of Benny and I are in would understand that.
Let me ask you this. Is the city a factor as well? Like, of whether people want to party there or not? Because I heard Warren Sapp talk about this a few years back, where he was just like, man, when a Super Bowl is in Jacksonville, nobody wants to go to fucking Jacksonville and rage. And I was like, that makes sense.
You're exactly right. Like when I was in Minnesota, other than the fact of the Vikings make it to the Super Bowl in their own city, which has never happened in NFL, we were not happy with it being in Minnesota. It's like, hey, let's go play golf at -2. People go on vacation for this kind of stuff. And when the Super Bowl, say, is on the East Coast, usually what we want is 2 East Coast teams on it. So think about if it's on the West Coast.
It's in Atlanta this year.
It's Atlanta's Central, so we're expecting it to be a pretty good Super Bowl no matter what. Because Atlanta's it's the busiest airport in America for a reason. But if it's the East Coast, and let's say you have a California team and Seattle in it, you got a 5.5-hour plane flight, you're not going to get as many people travel. That affects our market as well. There's tons of stuff that we put in perspective that'll affect the market on how we price.
So what do you think Super Bowl tickets will go for this year on average?
Again, it's such a guess right now because we don't know who's going to be in it.
It's a question we get answered time and time again. Just because, you've done it for this year, and Benny much longer than I have.
Yeah.
You should have an idea, right? There's just so many variables. The city. Obviously we know it's in Atlanta, but then the teams too. How far is each team going to travel? And then again, like we said, a Mahomes sounds a great story, right? Right now they say he's the front runner for the MVP. Still doesn't translate to a good ticket. There's just so many variables. We can give you within maybe $1,000 north or south, but. It's very tough to predict.
There's been Super Bowls where I got stuck with tickets. I didn't even sell none. Let's see Saints and Indy in Florida.
Okay.
Indy had a snowstorm. Half the fans couldn't get out, so you only had a small market Saints support it. I got stuck with tickets on
and
that.
Then you got the unpredictable stuff, like when the Super Bowl was in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
New stadium, should have been big. It was Green Bay, right? Isn't it?
Green Bay.
Yeah. And then they got an ice storm. Right?
That's right. I remember that ice storm.
In Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Should have been
Still
ended up being a great Super Bowl, though. That was a lot of the temporary seats they had to take down. I can't remember the exact reason. So it created a demand.
Yeah, Jerry tried to cram more people in there.
Yeah, I heard.
People say Jerry, that's really the NFL. But it's the NFL rents the stadium, and people tend to blame whoever owns the stadiums at fault when it's not. It's the NFL.
Because I went to the Super Bowl Atlanta, New England 2 years back. It was just, for you, your buddy's raising his hands over there. I'm a diehard Falcons fan. It was one of the worst goddamn days of my life and still continues to be. Yeah, still continues to be. But my buddy got dope-ass tickets for free. I had to get some for a producer, a friend of mine that I was trying to impress. And a buddy of mine who used to do tickets back in the day was just like, hey, wait up until game time. And I saw the tickets drop from about $5,000 to, I think I got his for maybe $2,500 or something. If you're an average fan trying to get in just as a bucket list item, is that your best shot at doing that, is waiting as close as you can until game time?
Yes and no. Again, it depends on the two. I can't stress that enough. 70% of the time, 75% of the time, a market may go down. But if you don't, it's a gamble however you do it. but that market could go way up, like way past your budget.
Yeah.
So if it's in your budget at the time of buying it,
drastically,
I would do it. Yeah,
100%. Because I take this LSU Alabama game that's going on tomorrow. We got those tickets weeks ago. Now they're going for like $1,500 a piece, where it's just like, Jesus
LSU
Christ.
lost. The market just went down.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden LSU's back in the playoff
number 3
hunt now.
Yeah,
so now the market's
ahead of my Irish.
It's supply and demand. It's like it's the stock market.
Yeah.
You know, and that's our job to read that every day to buy these trends. And
so are you guys watching the games then every night across the board, rooting for certain teams to do better than others?
Especially in the Super Bowl. We actually hedge. I don't look at it as not gambling in any kind of way when I'm is for my future. If such and such team is in it and I make more money, I'm going to hedge and bet on a way. Like if I feel that I'm going to make XYZ amount of money.
Sure.
If
New England makes it.
If New England's in.
Yeah.
But if New England loses, I'm going to lose XYZ.
Yeah.
So I'm hedging that middle right there to guarantee me that I'm making something. It's a crazy business, but that is something
like
done
regularly.
regularly. I mean, I was just at the World Series. I hedged on. I needed it to go back to Boston for Game 6.
Yeah,
I followed the whole thing.
We had tickets for Game 6. It didn't go Game 6. So we didn't get to go to the game.
So that was me. I knew that I would do well on Game 6, so I hedged. I took Boston, and see, Boston was actually getting points, so it was actually even great.
Yeah.
It was Boston plus 130, so that was a win-win.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be all right on that one. It worked out. I wish it would have went 6. I would have did better, but we did okay.
Same.
6 would have been beautiful.
Same just for me. I wanted to go to Fenway just to see World Series happen.
Yeah.
What's the craziest request you've ever gotten from an athlete or celebrity?
Craziest request. And we're gonna have to come back to that one. I got to think about that. I don't think anything really crazy at all.
Like 18 together. I need 18 together down low.
It's not so much.
I'll give you $100,000.
I don't think it's the
$200,000.
It was actually, the celebrities.
Sure.
Actually, the celebrities or the football players or whatever, they're the ones that don't really spend the big money. It's the corporate, and actually, so I would say if you wanted something like that, I would say the World Series, the last game, Game 5. I had a client from Texas, and he wanted a suite. I couldn't get him a suite, so he bought, I believe, 16 tickets in between behind home plate. And it was a chore getting 16 seats close together.
Wow.
And he spent on average $5,000 to $6,000 each per ticket. And it's those are the kind of things I consider crazy. And he's buying them for his friends. He's giving these away.
He didn't give a fuck.
He just wanted them close. He needed a security guy behind him, and that's what makes it difficult. He's sitting in row. I believe he was in row 4 or row 3, and I had to find 2 seats behind him for his security guy where he can watch him. So when you get into specifics, those are where we really come in handy.
Sure.
He had a crazy thing. He had to find a parking pass one time for a client in L.A. A high-end producer in L.A.
Yeah, good luck trying to find a parking pass
he made it happen,
anywhere in LA.
though.
Here's the thing, though. It's that when you get your
connection
certain clients, it's like you got to do what you got to do. You got to make it happen. And whether it's speak to a venue, speak to a person who knows a person who knows a person to make it happen. Yeah,
Sure.
but I had a guy that valet wasn't good enough. A drop-off, he needed
Celebrity or an athlete?
Producer.
Producer.
Yeah.
Shit, I can guess who it is probably.
Producer, but he had a driver, but he had to be dropped off out front, like literally out front the main steps,
Yeah.
and he wanted his driver to stay there the whole show. And I was like, I can get you dropped off, I can get you access to get dropped off, but that's going to be tough, but I can get your driver can stay in his spot like 100 feet away, and then he can come back around and get you. He goes, I don't want to have to text him, I want him there. So, it took some loops, but somehow, some way, you get it done. That was
simple as it sounds.
That was a difficult one, but that was like a high pressure
one.
A lot of work. This is a big client. So you want to come through, you can't. You don't come through. It's like, oh man, is he going to trust me the next call? Am I going to get that next call?
Yeah.
But it's stressful. But when you come through, and then it's like, all right, we're good.
Well, LA though, you'll see it all, and especially from celebrities. Fuck. There was one event I was working before I started starring in movies and all that shit. And it was, I think, Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie. Like, they were together. And they were fucking in the back of a limo, and they wanted some food. And I had to bring it in, put it over the sunroof into the thing. And, you saw the vial of blood and all that shit. And you're like, oh, my God, this is crazy. But those stories continue to happen in L.A.
California is a
LA's
bunch of weird people. I love going there, but you never know what you're going to see walking down the street. My wife is actually from California, and
so is mine.
It bothers her that I say that they're the weirdest people on the planet. I truly believe that. Not planet, I say America.
It doesn't bother my wife at all. She's good with it.
I don't know. Maybe she just gets.
She's good with it.
She gets offended easily, I guess. But I mean, you just don't know what you're going to see. I love it. I think it's great, though. And I don't mean weird in a bad way. It's just odd people, man.
Yeah.
Dancing naked in the middle of the road for no reason. You don't see that in Texas, So
what's the sport that does the worst ticket-wise?
That does the worst ticket-wise?
Yeah,
I
NHL?
Here's the thing.
WNBA?
Well,
I'm kidding. You can always get those tickets.
I don't know if I sold a ticket for the WNBA unless someone.
NASCAR is probably it's such on a decline of. I don't even invest in it. I don't even. NASCAR's in Texas this weekend, and I forgot it was even there.
It's funny, man.
That's how bad.
That. So everybody's saying that, especially since Junior retired, that they're like,
they made it even worse. But it was going bad.
They said it was.
Then.
How does that sport recover, and how do you get people back to the track?
I don't know. That is far beyond my marketing skills. It's, but you find a way to put 150,000 people in one stadium, twice a year. You're doing something right.
Good luck. What about the Daytona 500? Those tickets still hot?
Again, it's something I don't even look at no more. But it's the Super Bowl of NASCAR, so it's always going to. There's always going to be a demand. Whether
I want to go just to go, I've never been,
and that's the thing. Whether an event's good or bad, there's always demand for something.
Yeah,
everything has a value. People are going to want to sit good seats, even if a concert doesn't sell out. We specialize in the seats that we feel that people are going to want: front row, second row, or the best value seats. That's kind of when I look at a market and I want to buy something, those are the things that we invest in.
Gotcha. The hardest tickets I ever got was my dad's 65th birthday last year. So I took him to the Masters. Getting the Masters tickets was the hardest shit on the planet, and I had to sign a waiver. So
you can bring back the badge.
Yeah, and it was I think it was $80,000. If I didn't bring back the badges, then I was fined $80,000.
I would love to know where you got that. Where you got your ticket that made you sign that contract.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. When I walked
Very normal.
When I walked in, I had to sign the contracts in front of them before they'd even hand me the badges. And look, I don't want to say I was deathly afraid about losing the goddamn badge.
What if something happens?
It's $80,000 around your neck.
They're not going to charge you because it is replaceable. But you say it's difficult, which it was for you at the time until you know a guy like us.
Yeah. Exactly.
I go to the Masters every year. It's the first thing I'm going to tell you to do with the Masters is wait.
Yeah.
You see the market right now. Let's just use a round number. It's $3,000 for a badge. I'll get it for you for $2,000. I'm going to lock you in at $2,000 right now. You're going to pay me, and I'm going to deliver it the Thursday that you want to go in, and you're good to go.
Sure.
It's that simple with me.
And that's your company.
If the market goes up, it's on me.
And tell me your website again.
Yeah, it's tickets2allonline.com.
And it's 2 like the number 2, right?
Tickets,
number 2. Like
plural,
2 legit quick.
Tickets 2, number 2 allonline.com.
Cool.
A little long. I'm sorry about that, but we're working on it.
That's fine. It's fine. Is there any events that still get you excited? Like, obviously, look, at LSU, Alabama is why we're here in New Orleans. We're at Deuce McAllister's bar, Old Saint Bar. And then, look, the Rams-Saints game, that's one of the best on the schedule of the year. Do you guys still get excited going to games?
Oh, absolutely. And
love football.
The excitement's always there. Like I said, for us to be based out of Dallas, Texas, and to be able to get on a plane and fly down to here because it's a big enough weekend. Sure, it's also a fun trip for us, for the guys to hang out, a little break from a busy past couple months, but we're still also here working. Like, we're up in the hotel working, but it's exciting for us because just like you said, you get off the plane, you got that itch, because the party here.
Yeah.
But you also have these 2 huge games, and in our world, that's fun for us. That's like a buzz for us too. So it's a combination of things. So for me, I won't speak for Benny. It's always exciting to be around it and to be a part of it in a sense is what makes it fun.
Yeah, no, look, I'm amped for all of it. What's one event, if you could bring it back just for a night to go to, who would you bring back?
Concert or pretty much anything?
We'll start with sports. Like, is there a sporting event growing up where you're like, man, I would have killed to have been at that thing?
Man, I'm a football guy. I grew up playing football. I'll take a Super Bowl.
You'll take a Super Bowl?
Another Super Bowl in Dallas would be
Ali Frazier. If I could have gone to Ali Frazier or like an early Tyson fight.
I would love to be NBA Finals with Michael Jordan. If I could go back in time to see Jordan live, NBA Finals, all day.
Hell yeah.
That Game 6 winning shot, to say I could be there.
In Utah.
Yeah.
Dude, that would have been amazing. Amazing. What about concert-wise? Who you got?
So many good concerts. The craziest thing, I took my daughter. My daughter.
You got a guy coming in just eating fries. Just eating fries.
Yeah, I took my daughter to a concert one time and thought it was just going to be the worst thing ever. And I didn't want to go. I guess maybe because I had low expectations. But, like Pink, for example. Just a fucking great show. She put on a hell of a show. And then and one I'll put above that, Miley Cyrus. Things that you don't expect.
For your kid.
I'm learning this all for the first time, too, man.
Kids?
I do. I have 3 kids. And Miley Cyrus I'm telling you, she put on a hell of a show. Great entertainer. But I've seen everything you can imagine. Sports, concerts.
I'm sure Lady Gaga is coming to
you name it,
Vegas and all that stuff.
Jay-Z. I've front row for all that stuff. But it's the unexpected stuff that really kind of gets me going. Like, again, Miley Cyrus, great show. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It was fun.
No, I get it. Party in the USA.
Man, she had little doobie joints. People, little midgets dressed up in little. It was a joint.
Who doesn't love a midget dressed up as a joint?
With a little head that was on fire.
I think they were selling those outside. To be honest with you,
I think you can buy them in New Orleans. I might fuck one tonight. Just a little midget dressed up as a joint, just to do it. Like, I think my wife would be cool with that. But if it was a dude, if she was like, "All right, cool, don't fuck a girl, but fuck a little dude midget dressed up as a joint," like that would be fine. What about you?
Me? Like I said, we've been lucky to see a lot of cool shows, sit in good seats. But for me, and I've said this before to Benny actually, is I would love to see REM.
Really?
REM.
That's a good one.
I know it's kind of random, it's kind of
that.
out there, but I would love to go back in time and be able to see REM.
All right.
Michael Jackson would be mine. Probably the one show if I could go back in time, because when he unfortunately when he passed, I knew I was going to have a front row ticket. I was going to buy it. I don't care what it was worth. I don't care if somebody offered me $5,000 each or whatever. I'll sit in front row, Michael Jackson, and then I second that REM.
That's dope. I like that a lot. Yeah. Mine, look, Prince was one of my favorite shows I've ever been to of all time.
Seen him a few times. Yeah.
Like, if I could go back and see Prince again, that would be rad. And I still love the Rolling Stones. Okay. That is my end-all, be-all favorite band. I will travel to see them anywhere I can, because I know the next show is probably going to be their last.
It might be their last.
What I feel
Whatever
like.
their next show is, it could be their last.
Because I went. It was my wife's anniversary last year, and the Stones were playing in Vegas, and they canceled. We showed up and they canceled. Day of, and so at the last minute, I had to call a buddy of mine to get Elton John tickets. And Elton John was rad. I was stoked to see that.
It's his farewell tour going on right now, and that's actually bringing in. It's doing really well for us. We're happy with that show.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And let's see. Other than that, Elton John was great. There was some surprises in there. Like I feel like I lean more towards like who my kids like now, where that seems more impressive. Like
kids. You need kids shows tickets. I'm your guy.
Oh, are you?
How do you mind
Gabba Gabba and all that stuff?
I was going to say Paw Patrol, the Wildcrats. Come on, Bubble Guppies, you name it.
Those tickets probably go for high dollar, don't
here's
they?
Here's the thing. You're not going to say no to your kid.
No one is.
You're not saying no to your kid.
No one's going to say no to their kids.
So that's the thing. That I love tapping into. The kids market is one that a lot of people don't think to go, research and get into and get involved. But I tell you what, like I said, you're not going to say no to your kid, right?
No, you never say no to your kid.
And then you got to buy differently. Where you usually want 2s or 4s or things like that, the even numbers. Kid shows 3s, 5s, mom and dad and the daughter, mom, dad, son, whatever it may be.
It's a trend of the modern days. It's 3, father, son. Father, mom, kid.
Yeah.
We used to shy away from 3-packs. It's because it's the odd number usually doesn't sell very well. So back to talking business now, but it's the odd numbers. You buy them and they sell very well. It's just the trend of the times right now. They don't have multiple kids. People are not having 2-3 kids like they used to. It's usually one and that's it. And
well, listen, guys, I greatly appreciate you being on the show. These guys are fucking real, man. Some of the best in the business. Look, speaking of kids, man, I took my child to his first game, Falcons, Tampa Bay, and I said, hey, you got the hookup. Let's prove that you have the hookup. You guys got me field passes on the field with my child before the game started. Not only that, but they were left under Julio Jones. So when I went up to the ticket thing, and you get the dismissive will call ladies who are like, who are you here for? And I was like, Ross Patterson. She was like, who left you the tickets? And I go, Julio Jones. Oh, Oh, I mean, she was aghast. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I'll be right back, Mr. Patterson." And I was like, "Goddamn right, you will be."
Kind of said that a little loud, make sure everybody heard you. Behind you. You know, Julio Jones left these for me.
Hey, that's what we do, though, man. That's what we do.
No, so I greatly appreciate it. And again, for the audience, tell people where they can find you online.
Tickets2allonline.com, or you can call us anytime directly.
Yeah.
214-396-3501.
One more time for the audience, because again, a lot of people out there are trying to get tickets for anniversaries, loved ones, all that shit. Give me your phone number one more time.
You call us directly. There are no fees when we call you, other than it being a local Texas event that we might have to charge tax. But we're at tickets2allonline.com, 214-396-3501.
Awesome. Boom. Benny, I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
Greg, I want to see you get weird tonight, my man.
I got to have a good story for you tomorrow.
2, 3 girls, midget dressed up as a joint, whatever it's going to take. Like, I need something tomorrow.
I'll be that guy. I'll be the guy of the trip. That's
I'm married. I can't do shit.
Hey,
so I'm living through you.
We're living through him. Yeah,
for
sure.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.